The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the translated voices of 1,000 species. Crystalline beings refracted light through their bodies. Methane breathers floated in containment spheres, and arthropod delegates clicked their mandibles in heated debate. At the center of it all stood Anna Chen, Earth's youngest diplomatic envoy, her tablet clutched firmly in her hands. She had rehearsed her proposal for weeks. Humanity sought membership in the Galactic Trade Consortium, a simple request for a species that had only achieved faster-than-light travel 3 years prior. They were newcomers, yes, but they came bearing olive branches and trade agreements that would benefit everyone. Honorable delegates, Anna began, her voice steady despite the weight of representing 8 billion souls. Humanity requests consideration for silence. The word boomed across the chamber like a thunderclap. General Vraxis of the Caltharian Empire rose from his seat, his forearms spreading wide in a gesture of dominance. The Caltharians were the Council's military backbone. Reptilian, giants who had conquered 40-star systems before the Council, convinced them that diplomacy was more profitable than war. The Council will not hear petitions from primates, Vraxis hissed, his forked tongue tasting the air with contempt. His scales, a deep crimson that denoted his rank, gleamed under the chamber's lights. Your species has nothing to offer us. You are children playing with technologies you barely understand. Anna felt her jaw tighten, but she maintained composure. Luis Martinez, Earth's security attaché, shifted uncomfortably beside her. She could feel his hand hovering near the ceremonial weapon at his belt. Purely decorative, as weapons were forbidden in the Council chamber. General Vraxis, Anna replied diplomatically. We understand we are new to the galactic stage, but humanity has survived extinction-level events, rebuilt from ashes, and reached for the stars despite, you understand nothing. Vraxis descended from his platform, each footfall shaking the floor. The other delegates fell silent, some from fear, others from curiosity. The Caltharian general had a reputation for brutality, but surely he wouldn't violate Council protocols. He crossed the distance between them in seconds, towering over Anna like a prehistoric predator. Your species is weak, fragile. You live on a death world you call moderate and think this makes you special. His breath reeked of sulfur and decay. The galaxy has no room for your kind. Then we will make room, Anna said quietly, meeting his gaze without flinching. What happened next occurred so quickly that many delegates would later claim they hadn't seen it. Vraxis's foot, a massive clawed appendage meant for crushing enemy soldiers, shot forward and connected with Anna's face. The crack echoed through the chamber like a gunshot. Anna flew backward, her small frame no match for the general's mass and momentum. She crashed into the marble floor, blood streaming from her nose and mouth. Luis was moving instantly, catching her before her head could strike the ground again. Anna! His voice cracked with rage and fear. Her eyes were glazed, consciousness flickering like a dying star. The Council erupted in chaos. Some delegates shouted in outrage, others in approval. The Caltharian faction laughed, a guttural sound that made Luis's blood run cold. Vraxis stood over them, wiping his foot on the pristine floor. That is what I think of human diplomacy. You are not welcome here. Take your broken ambassador and leave this galaxy to those strong enough to survive it. Luis wanted to draw his weapon. Every fiber of his being screamed for vengeance. But Anna's hand, trembling and weak, gripped his sleeve. No, she whispered through broken teeth. Not here, not... Like this, he understood. This wasn't about one man's revenge. This was bigger. Luis carefully lifted Anna in his arms, her blood staining his uniform. He turned to face the Council, and the look in his eyes made even the boldest delegate step back. You will regret this, he said softly. All of you who stood by and watched. You think you know humans? You know nothing. The Council chambers had been designed to intimidate, vast and overwhelming. But as Luis carried Anna toward the exit, every delegate present felt something they hadn't experienced in millennia. Genuine fear. The message reached Earth within hours. Within days, the Sol system became a fortress. Every military vessel, from aging frigates to the newest dreadnoughts, mobilized. Factory stations that had been producing civilian transports retooled for war production. Humanity, which had spent centuries perfecting the art of killing each other, turned that terrible expertise outward. The Galactic Council received Earth's response exactly 1 week after the incident. It wasn't a diplomatic protest. It wasn't a strongly worded letter. It was a declaration of war, not just against the Caltharian Empire, but against every species that had remained silent while their representative was brutalized. You called us weak, the message read, Anna's bruised face filling every screen across council space. Her jaw was wired shut, but her eyes blazed with fury. You called us fragile. You thought we would accept this humiliation and slink back to our corner of the galaxy. The image shifted to show Earth's mobilized fleet, hundreds of vessels bristling with weapons that made Council, military advisors suddenly very nervous. Humanity has survived ice ages and supervolcanoes. We've survived plagues that killed millions and wars that nearly ended us. We've clawed our way from the caves to the stars through nothing but stubborn, bloody-minded determination. Anna's face returned, and despite her injuries, she smiled. A predator's smile. You want to know what makes humans special, General Vraxis? We never forget, and we never forgive. The transmission ended. 3 days later, the first Caltharian outpost went dark. Then another. Then 12 more. The galaxy had made a grave miscalculation. They had assumed humanity's talk of peace meant they didn't understand war. They were wrong. Humans understood war better than any species in the galaxy. They had simply hoped they'd never need that knowledge again. General. Vraxis had kicked a human diplomat in the face. Humanity answered by kicking open the gates of hell, and they were just getting started.